Here we are in Detroit, Michigan, doing the filming locations for Don't Breathe, released in 2016. This street is where it all took place. Well, most of the film. Right down here. Oh yeah. Beginning of the film, the blind man was dragging Rocky down this street. It was a drone shot from up above, then it panned down for a close-up of the blind man with her before we even knew what was going on. Best way to tell, those buildings right there, they line up with the shot. Here's a nice shot right there of him dragging her down the street. See the buildings on the right? Yeah, they line up. Sorry if it's not that good of a photo. It's kind of hard to catch it good on this phone, but yeah, that's where that is. Those buildings right there on the right. Yeah, buildings on the right. Then he dragged her right down here to his house. And from the angle of this building, it would have put him roughly right about here, dragging her when the film started. But yeah, somewhere in this vicinity is where that started, right down the street. This right here is where another shot took place, when Rocky, Money, and Alex was sitting in their car, scoping out the blind man's place. There was more graffiti there, but it's not there anymore. Looks like they're cleaning up around here, but this is where the car was parked, right by this building. And there's my reference photo. Right there's the car, sitting right there. But yeah, that's the building. Now to the next area. And here is the blind man's house. This would have been roughly the spot. They're doing work right here construction wise, so there's a big dumpster and stuff in the way. But there's the shot of the house. Yeah, there's the house right there between these two buildings when they were standing there scoping it out. But yeah, this was roughly the exact spot because it's back just a little bit further. As you can see, got a dumpster in the way, working on this house. But yeah, this was where they were standing right here. Then it was nighttime. Then they walked over to the house. But here's the house. The blind man's house. Another angle of the house. Let's check this house out. This is pretty cool to see this in person. Only the exterior shots of the film were filmed here. All interior shots were filmed elsewhere. Looks like it was used for two people, a two housing area, like a duplex in real life, but in the movie the old man owned it. Touch. And this pillar right here is where the blind man was standing when he let his dog out and Rocky went off running down the street right there. There's the fence, at least part of the fence. It's all been tore up. Another viewpoint from the house. And I did ask for permission to be here to film and take pictures. They don't care. But this would have been the point of view. And as you can see, yeah, the whole fenced-in area is gone. And the buildings that were next to it are gone. But they hopped this fence right here after not being able to get into the house because they didn't have all the keys. But there actually is no cellar door. It was fake. Because only, yeah, like I said, the exterior shots were filmed here. Inside shots for the interior were filmed elsewhere. But it's still pretty cool to see this. Here's a side angle of the house. And here's the back of the house right here. Here would have been the viewpoint over here. And here is the inside of the fenced-in area where the dog was. And outside shot by the fence. And here's what it looked like at the end where the cellar was. That doesn't exist. Yeah, there's a cellar and there's the doghouse. But yeah, it would have sat right there. That's where the doghouse was. And then the cellar would have been, and then yeah, that's where the cellar door would have been, right over here. But yeah, as you can see, yeah, there was no real one. It's all fake. There's a side door there. Then here's another angle of the house. And another angle of the house over here as well. Then this will be the final front shot of the house. And just to get an idea of the whole area, this will, yeah, just do a little pan around the entire area so you can see the whole block. But it really is abandoned. There's only a few people that actually live on this street. There's a lot of abandoned houses here in Detroit. Some of the houses in the film you can actually still see because they are still here. They're trying to do some work on some of them around here, try to fix them up. But this is the entire area. And the house. And one final shot of the house from their point of view. And they were standing back here. This is pretty close to exact where they were standing, minus this dumpster. But this is still pretty cool to be here and see all this. The people I talked to around this whole area had no idea this house was in a film, or this entire street. But now they know, and they thought it was pretty cool. At least 7 people I talked to just a little bit ago, or in the time I've been here, had no idea. Some history. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So now we'll go to the next locations. There's a few more locations of the film, but this was the main one I really wanted to get. A few more shots of the house while I'm here, because this will probably be the only time I see this. And one more shot right here. And this is gonna be the final shot for a thumbnail. And that's it. Let's go to the next spot. Yeah, this looks better for a thumbnail right here. Okay, looks good. And our next location is Alex's house. There's a nice shot right there. And a nice shot right there. And there's Alex's house right there. Roughly shot around this angle over here. Yeah, it would have been shot at this angle over here, because that house does match up. So yeah, this would have been the angle over here when Alex was on his way home. And he walked on home. And then another angle of the house. And that's where he went into, right there. Get a little shot of this angle over here. Of the house from here. Another angle over here. I have no idea if there was any filming done inside the house. As far as I know, all the exterior shots were filmed here in Detroit, Michigan, but the interior shots were all filmed elsewhere, I believe. At least I know for the old man's house, or the blind man's house. And the main factory scene, well, not a factory, it's an abandoned building. This building right here, that was just an exterior shot. The inside where the meeting went down with money, that was filmed elsewhere for the inside shots. Try to pick that up. Yeah, you can see a little better right there. Maybe not. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of see it better. Focus. Yeah, that building. And this looks good right here. Nice shot of the house. Really don't see much go on here. But there's only one other location, and that's that other abandoned building. And we're gonna go there next. But yeah. One last shot right here just to get a good photo of the place. And that's gonna do it. Let's go to the next spot. Actually, I want to get it over here. This will be a nice shot right here for a photo. Perfect. Now let's go to the next spot. Alex's house. Let's go. Also, if you're curious, this is an angle point of what's going on around Alex's house, because he came from over there, and it's somebody's yard. So just kind of went over there real quick and got a shot. But this is the area he lived in. About 7 minutes away from the old man's house. Well, the blind man's house. But this is the surrounding area, in case anyone's curious. And that's all. And there is the abandoned building exterior right there, where we're at now. We're going to. And here is the final location. This is where the exterior shot was taken, and it was a lot higher up. Only the exterior was used. The interior was filmed elsewhere. But this was a quick little shot when Money came to meet up with that guy to sell off all of that stuff they robbed from that house. But this is the building they showed for a brief 2 seconds at a high up angle. Try and get some more shots of this building. Looks pretty cool. Here's another angle of the building on this side. Even though they only showed the front of the building, I just thought it'd be kind of cool to get like other angles of this building. It is definitely massive. And here's another angle on this side. Another angle over here. Little angle over here. Okay, that was all angles of this building. That was a lot of running around this building. That is every angle of this building, except for the roof, obviously, or the inside, because they're working and there's no way I can go in there now. And this is going to be the final shot of the structure, and that's all the locations. That was Don't Breathe 2016 filming locations here in Detroit, Michigan. And I will say this is pretty cool to come here and see all this. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed. It was definitely cool to see all these places. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Get a nice shot of this for a photo. And yeah, that's all.